On this episode of the Turnbuckle, AEW and Warner Brothers are finalizing a deal for a third weekly wrestling show. Dragon Lee makes his NXT in-ring debut at a house show. And GCW is opposing the AEW Fight Forever trademark. Folks, we're getting your favorite wrestling moves and wrestling news because it's time for the Turnbuckle. AEW and Ring of Honor head Tony Khan has previously said publicly there has been more demand for additional AEW programming on TV. According to a report by Mat Men's Andrew Zarian, it appears Khan is about to find out if that is true. On Saturday's edition of Mat Men, Zarian reported that AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery are closing in on a deal to add a third AEW show to the schedule. Similar to Rampage, this would be an hour-long broadcast. It's not all access, because if it was all access, they would say, oh, by the way, this is all access. So it sounds like, okay, the title says a weekly wrestling show. The third AEW in-ring show will be an hour and possibly air on Saturdays. Okay, I don't know why they're doing this. I mean, listen, okay, I mean, there's demand. Okay, but I demand to have my hand held, you know, like, I demand many things. I demand New York style cheesecake when I'm hungry, but like, I don't think that just, you know, like, what's the word, garners, you know, me automatically I don't know how to feel about this, because, okay, he's got Ring of Honor and AEW, and then, oh my god, I forgot all about that. So we've got AEW. I mean, okay, we've got AEW Dynamite, and then we have AEW Dark, and then we have AEW, I almost said Revelations, AEW Elevation, and then we have AEW Rampage, and then we have Ring of Honor. That's 5, and then we have this new show, and then we have AEW All Access, and then he still has like the pay-per-views, and I'm pretty sure Forbidden Door's coming up. Like, Tony, I've been talking about this for quite some time now, and I have not changed. There's a fly in my room, I apologize. I have not changed my stance on it one bit. I don't understand why Tony Khan is doing like 4 or 5 different things all at once. Now again, I've said this 1,000,001 different times. I highly doubt that Tony Khan is doing literally all of this by himself. I doubt it is one person. But at the same time, the fact that Tony Khan is at the top of it all, right? So everything that's going on with all of these things is eventually going to have to, you know, get to him at some point. I feel like maybe he's just, you know, biting off a bit more he can chew, but I'm not Tony Khan, so I can't sit here and say things like, oh, this is too much for him and he's not going to be able to handle it, and how's he going to be able to balance all of this and everything like that. I don't know, you know, I don't know who Tony Khan is. I mean, just, you know, judging by the way that he acts in and out of the ring, I'm sure he's an absolute stand-up guy, but considering the fact that, you know, this is now the third, it's an in-ring show. That's what it's saying. It says it's going to be another wrestling show. Yeah. So this is going to be like, this is like the 5th or 6th wrestling show that Tony Khan is going to be managing. And I think that is too much. And listen, okay, sometimes you can have too much of a good thing. That is possible. Sometimes you can eat too much cheesecake. You know, listen, I know how crazy of a concept, so calm down, I know how crazy of a concept that is, but on certain days, you can eat too much cheesecake. I don't know what the third show is going to be. So far, they haven't really filed for any trademarks or anything like that, so it's really hard to tell what exactly this third show is actually going to be like. So I guess only time will tell, and we're just going to have to wait and see what Tony Khan's cooking up. Next, we're going to talk about Dragon Lee and how he makes his NXT in-ring debut at a house show. Dragon Lee has made his WWE in-ring debut. He wrestled at Saturday night's NXT house show in St. Petersburg, Florida. He wrestled Eddie Thorpe, formerly known as Carl Fredericks, who both have a connection to New Japan Pro Wrestling. This marked Lee's first match in WWE since signing with the company late last year. Lee had made his debut for the company back at Tuesday's Roadblock event, sitting in the crowd. Although signed in December, it took him several months to debut due to visa issues. Lee has wrestled for the likes of CMLL, AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. He also made an appearance last year in AEW, teaming with his brother Rush and Andrade El Idolo in AEW's Trios Championship Tournament. However, Rush and Idolo turned on him after their loss. Didn't they say that Dragon Lee was on like his own specific contract? Didn't they say? I swear I heard that. They said that he was getting like paid way more than like your average NXT star. So that obviously tells you everything you need to know about how they feel about Dragon Lee. And I remember talking about the visa issues and everything like that, so I'm glad to know that everything, pretty much good to go, and, he doesn't really have anything holding him up anymore, and, there he is. He's on NXT, so we're going to have to wait and see exactly, what's in store for him. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to seeing the matches that he's in. I mean, you've got Nathan Frazier. I almost forgot his name. I feel so bad. Let's see. You got Nathan Frazier, Joe Gacy, Axiom, Wesley. You got a lot of absolutely fantastic wrestlers on that roster, so I can only imagine what type of matches Dragon Lee is going to be having on that show. I can't wait to see what's in store for him. And listen, man, hopefully in the next year or so he'll be main roster bound, and he'll have a championship on him in no time. I'm pretty sure he's going to have an NXT championship on him in the next 8 minutes. All right, I really doubt that anybody has anything to worry about when it comes to a guy like Dragon Lee, especially being in NXT and being under the watchful eye of Shawn Michaels and Triple H. He's fine. Don't worry about him. Okay. In the next 7 minutes, we're gonna be talking about how he's gonna be in the WWE Hall of Fame. So finally, we're gonna be talking about Game Changer Wrestling opposing AEW's Fight Forever trademark. GCW is opposing the name of AEW's upcoming video game. Wrestling Inc. reported Friday that GCW filed to oppose the trademark AEW Fight Forever on March 1st. However, it requested a 90-day extension of time to formally oppose. The United States Patent and Trademark Office granted that extension the following day. According to GCW's opposition appeal, they are asking for 90 days in order to investigate and confer with counsel. The document also said that GCW is currently, quote, engaged in settlement discussions with applicant, referring to AEW. GCW held a show in January of 2021 called Fight Forever, a 24-hour event. According to Wrestling Inc., GCW filed their trademark for the Fight Forever name last year, a few months after AEW filed for theirs. So GCW, okay, so imagine Red Lobster, right? All of my European subscribers, I apologize. Imagine Wegmans, I don't know. Or no, what's it called? Imagine a Greg's. Never mind. You can't even eat at a Greg's. Well, you can't. Never mind. Red Lobster, right? Red Lobster's we've got a table open, and the table's name is called Fight Forever. AEW comes in and goes, hey, we've got a table for 6. I don't know. We want to go to that table. And Red Lobster's all right. And they sit down. And an hour later, GCW comes in and goes, hey, we've got a table. We have a table for 6, and we would like to sit at the Fight Forever table. And Red Lobster went, you can't do that. AEW's already there. So GCW goes, huh? We'll get to the bottom of this. No. AEW already filed for the trademark. And you guys filed after AEW already filed for the trademark. So, and they've already named their game Fight Forever. So, I don't know what you think that AEW are going to do about this. I'll tell you what they're not going to do. They're not going to give you the Fight Forever trademark because they already filed for it. That's not fair, GCW. You can't just come in and be like... Now, okay, I will say this. GCW did use the Fight Forever trademark for one of their shows, which is what I assumed. My first thought was well, they're not making a video game, so I don't really think that that's anything we have to worry about. I had a feeling it was going to be for a pay-per-view or something like that, so it doesn't surprise me that they've come out and been hey, what gives? And AEW's I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I'll tell you what gives. This new video game we're putting out, all right? Honestly, we're going to have to let this one breathe out. It's 90 days, so we're probably not going to hear anything for maybe another week or two. So I would say, keep an eye out. See where this is potentially going to end up, and hopefully everybody comes out of this unscathed, I guess. Ideally you would want AEW to win simply because AEW filed for it first, so that makes sense. So yeah, man, we're just gonna have to wait and see how this turns out. What do we talk about? I don't know why AEW's making a third show. That doesn't seem like a good idea. That's a lot of responsibility on Tony Khan's shoulders, although it doesn't. Well, okay, I can't really say that because so far it sounds like it is confirmed to be. It says for third weekly wrestling show, and then it says the third AEW in-ring show. In-ring wrestling show will be an hour and possibly air on Saturdays. So it's giving Saturday night's main event. That's what it's giving me right now, at least. And if that's the case, fine, right? That's what it sounds like. Other than that, folks, let's see. Dragon Lee makes his NXT debut at a house show. He did it at a house show. That's good to know. I understand why he did it at a house show. You kind of want to just sort of, you want to wet your toes a little bit, sort of see how that's going to go. You don't know how the crowd's going to react, you know what I'm saying? So just, plop him in there, see what happens. Again, he's a fantastic wrestler. He's been all over the world. He's been in absolutely fantastic matches, over the course of his tenure. I have nothing to worry about. I doubt you have anything to worry about. Like I said, how long has it been? I'm sure he's getting his NXT North American Championship right now as we're speaking. And Dragon Lee is going to be fine. He has nothing to worry about. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for this fantastic wrestler. Game Changer Wrestling is trying to get AEW's Fight Forever trademark. I don't think that's going to happen. That's pretty much the long and short of it, simply because AEW already filed for the trademark. And GCW, listen, man, too little, too late. Don't know what to tell you. All right, they did the high five thing where they were like, "Give me 5." What was it? Give me 5 on the black hand side. It doesn't matter. I forget what it is. It's like a really old high five thing. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't think GCW is going to get this, folks. Sad face, cry, L plus ratio plus you get no bitches. On that note, boys, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. And as always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.